The Earth is the only world known so far to harbor life. To me, it underscores our responsibility to deal more kindly with one another and to preserve and cherish the pale blue dot, the only home we have ever known. These are the words of the famous astronomer and planetary scientist Carl Sagan. We look up at the sky and see the infinite, but the modern race to the stars is no longer a shared human endeavor. It has become a private theater of absolute wealth. When we watch a rocket fracture in the upper atmosphere, we are not just watching the failure of steel and thrust, we are watching the incineration of human potential. Let's look at the ledger. When Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin New Shepard booster collapsed in flight, and when Elon Musk's SpaceX Starship prototypes detonated over the Gulf of Mexico, the sky was painted with the combustion of private capital. While these private corporations obscure their exact per unit receipts, aerospace consensus estimates the hardware loss of a single Starship stack at roughly $100 million and a new Shepard booster at conservatively $50 million. In a matter of minutes, an estimated $150 million of capital was converted into falling shrapnel and ocean debris. But what is 150 million in the gravity of Earth? It's not just money, it's the architecture of human survival. If we pull that capital back from the vacuum of the space and apply it to the physical grid of our daily lives, the math is staggering. Organizations that buy and forgive predatory medical debt do so for pennies for a dollar. $150 million could systematically abolish 1.5 billion in medical debt, instantly freeing over 150,000 families from the terrifying choice between physical health and financial ruin. With the average student carrying roughly $37,000 in educational debt, that incinerated capital could have handed 4,054 young minds a completely clean slate, allowing them to innovate, build, and consume without the crushing weight of systemic interest. At an average cost of a $300,000 for a starter home, that money could have purchased 500 houses entirely in cash, gifting generational wealth and shelter to the families who have been permanently priced out by institutional landlords. Alternatively, it could have provided emergency rental assistance to keep 10,000 families from being evicted into the streets. And with the average working family spending roughly $1,000 a month on food, those failed launches could have fully stocked the pantries of 12,500 families for an entire year. The cosmos is a shared inheritance, yet this race is enclosed by a few. Space remains mathematically and physically distant, a radioactive void that offers no immediate salvation for the collapsing biosphere. The significance of an orbital milestone is entirely hollow if the launch pad is built on a foundation of human suffering. So the question must be asked directly to Mr. Musk and Mr. Bezos. How do you justify the privatization of the stars when the cradle of humanity is fracturing? When your vessels shatter in the sky, do you recognize that the debris is built from the delayed salvation of millions? If the ultimate goal is the preservation of the light of consciousness, why are we burning the very capital required to keep that light breathing on earth? The future does not require us to abandon our home. It requires us to finally invest in it. And the world is looking at you guys because you have the power, you have the resources, and the choices you are making, you can look for yourself.